Hey everybody, Blue Wahoos broadcaster Erik Bremer here with Wahoos Weekly. I've got Charlie Hobert, my broadcast partner here. This is your weekly look at the Pensacola Blue Wahoos, both on and off the field. Charlie, it's good for me to be back after 2 weeks on the road, and then we're airing this after the All-Star break. I know you had a chance to get out of Pensacola, reset the mind, reset the body. How you feeling?
I feel like $1,000,000, Erik. It really was great. I know during that 2-week road trip where you were working very hard, I was able to hop in the car, drive up to Wisconsin, see some family, see some friends, get a little reset in, and then during the All-Star break, I went to see my little sister in Boston, and it's been a lot of it ended up being a lot of travel, but I feel good and I feel ready to roll.
Speaking of the All-Star break, in the Sirius XM All-Star Futures game, I think that's what they still call it these days, Carson Milbrand, former Blue Wahoo, represented the Marlins organization, and at the time of this taping, 4 former Blue Wahoos appeared in the All-Star game itself. You had Luis Arraez, you had Joan Duran, you had Max Meyer from the Miami Marlins, and Raisel Iglesias, who's currently the Braves closer. It's always a nice reminder that even though these are AA ball players that we're covering today, they might very well be all-stars in just a couple years' time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And everyone on their respective clubs was so deserving. You love to see it for Max Meyer, who's still in the organization, doing it for Miami, who is exceeding expectations in a lot of ways, and he's been at the forefront of that. You love to see it for Luis Arraez, who performed super well when he was a Miami Marlin. And one of those guys where a lot of people I don't know about people, but fans don't value Luis Arraez in the way that he necessarily should, because he's not giving you the big home run numbers, and he swings all the time and his swing rate is up, but he's going to get rewarded for it whether you think he should or not. And yeah, it's good to remember these guys as Blue Wahoos and remember what they did on the field when they were here in Pensacola.
Another thing that has recently happened is the MLB draft, and by the time this airs, we will know how many new players have joined the Marlins organization. But it's something that we need to keep an eye on here at AA, because just last year we were talking about the top 3 draft picks being Iva Arquette, Cam Cannarella, and Brandon Compton. 1 year later, they're all Blue Wahoos.
Yeah, I mean, I've never wanted to pay attention to the draft more in my life. I mean, Iva Arquette, and these are 3 guys, by the way, who have contributed in a massive, massive way. Of course, Iva Arquette right now is down with injury, but he is the #1 prospect on the Blue Wahoos, #3 in the Marlins organization. He's had some big-time home runs, played a great shortstop. Brandon Compton came up from Beloit, immediately hit 3 home runs, hit a grand slam. And then, Cam Cannarella, who we're going to see a little bit later. You can't say enough about what Cam has been able to do out of the leadoff spot as a hitter for average, as a power hitter, as a fielder. I mean, he has been, as an energy guy, he's done everything that the Wahoos could have possibly asked for.
Can't say enough, but let's try for a couple minutes to talk about Cam Cannarella, because he's been a spark plug in the leadoff spot, and just in terms of being an emotional leader, you can tell that the team's really rallying around his momentum that he's taken since joining this team. We also saw a little bit of a scrap on the final day in Rocket City where Cam got hit. I could sense that maybe Rocket City was getting frustrated that Cam Cannarella kept hitting home runs against them. And when Cam got hit, Cam didn't do anything, but the team rallied around, and we saw 4 different ejections. I was there, you weren't, but I'm sure that you were following with bated breath to see how that all was going to sort out.
Yeah, man. I mean, when this happens, there's frustration on both ends, because Cam is just torching Rocket City. I mean, they can't figure out a way to get him out, keep him off the bases, and keep the ball in the ballpark. And then the Wahoos are coming off of 3 very, very frustrating games for this team in this year. So for Cam to get hit kind of squarely in the back, I don't know if there was intention, but it wasn't a Nick job. It got him right in the back. He was frustrated and gave the pitcher Garcia a bit of a look and just said, hey, with his eyes, I don't really appreciate that. Garcia took exception, and you've talked about Cam kind of being thrust in a way into a leadership role. Well, his teammates treated him like the quarterback. You get a big hit on the quarterback, that whole offensive line is going after the guy who did it, and that's what happened with the Wahoos. You saw Dylan Lewis, Ian Lewis Jr. get run. Amarian Boyd got run. It wasn't so much a scrap, but it was good to see a little fire from a team that had been struggling a little bit.
I won't ask you if you've ever been involved in a benches clearing brawl, but if you were, would you be the guy up front, or would you be the hold me back guy?
You know, I really would like to think I'd be on the front lines, but let's get real, Erik. I'm going to be playing peacemaker if I made it onto the field at all. I'm saying let's calm down, take a breath. Everything's okay.
You're not the type to grab the 80-year-old bench coach and throw him down like Pedro Martinez did?
I dream of being that guy, but only in my dreams.
I was ejected once from an American Legion game when I was an assistant coach. There was a bad call at home plate, and, I gave him the what for.
Yeah.
No punches were thrown. Let's talk a little bit more about Cam Cannarella, because we have so many great outfielders.
Yep.
And it just so happens that Dylan Lewis has gone down at the time when Brandon Compton was due to get a promotion based on the way he was playing with Beloit. But Cam is the type of guy who you can very easily see moving up to the next level, given what he's done at AA. So what more, I guess, do we need to see before he gets that look with Jacksonville?
Yeah, well, I'll first start with the fact that, it is a log jam. And when he came up, Dylan Lewis, Fenwick Trimble, Brendan Jones, those are 3 serviceable outfielders. And Cam still found a way to get everyday playing time in the leadoff spot. It's hard to really give notes on Cannarella right now. It's really kind of a keep doing what you're doing. You would love to see the stolen bases go up. You would love to see maybe a little bit of urgency in the field. It's a nitpick, but there were a couple moments early where he kind of got to a ball a little slower, allowed a man to score, So he's young, and he's flashy, and he's fun. When those 3 things combine, the maturity level sometimes needs to tick up just a hair, But in terms of offensively, he's been a dream leadoff hitter. And you just keep doing what you're doing, and when the big moments call on defense, answer.
In Cam's defense, the maturity needs to tick up just a hair with us too from time to time.
I'm not one to really cast stones here.
Brandon Compton, new arrival, just settling in. The hope is that he can do for the Blue Wahoos what he did for Beloit and what he did for the first week on the road when he joined the Blue Wahoos in Rocket City. If he can do that from the left-handed side, that really changes the complexion of this lineup.
Big time with Dylan Lewis going down. The Wahoos, they hit homers here and there, but they're not this huge unit of power threats. And Dylan Lewis was that guy that you were scared to hang a curveball to, for he might hit it 500 feet, Brandon Compton is filling the role of the guy he needs to fill the role for. Obviously, you would love to see him on the same team and have both those guys. That's sort of, as a Brewer fan, that Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder kind of thing. But if Dylan Lewis is going to go down, and we hope to have him back before the season is up, you couldn't really pick a better guy to fill that spot. So keep those power numbers up. Just try to keep the strikeouts down, and we're happy to have him.
When we come back, we'll talk with Cam Cannarella. We'll talk about his upbringing. We'll talk about his time at Clemson. We'll talk about his time with the Blue Wahoos. And yes, we'll make sure to ask about that benches clearing situation that he was involved in a couple weeks ago. That's all coming up next here on Wahoos Weekly.
At A1 Automotive, we do it all. All kinds of repairs for all kinds of vehicles. We do AC repairs, we do suspensions, we do pre-purchase inspections. We'll diagnose your problem and get it fixed. Free brake inspection. We can provide financing for any work we do. Veteran-owned, military, and first responders discounts. A1 Automotive, 403 Beverly Parkway, Pensacola.
Gill Marine, your one-stop shop for all your boating needs. We offer a vast selection of parts, accessories, and electronics. Discover our range of used boats in every size, shape, and brand, all ready to get you on the water today. And we provide expert advice and top-notch customer service to ensure you have the best boating experience. We service all outboard, inboards, stern drives, jet drives, and personal watercraft. Our certified staff will get you back on the water. Visit Gill Marine at 3541 West Fairfield Drive, Pensacola.
Empire Truck Sales, located at 2255 West Detroit Boulevard in Pensacola, is your Freightliner, Western Star, Detroit Diesel, and Cummins dealer for Northwest Florida. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., providing sales, service, and parts. Empire Truck Sales is also your Oasis dealer for Freightliner custom chassis RV and motorhome repairs. Running I-10 will get you in.
Nestled in the heart of Pensacola, Dorothy's is a one-of-a-kind, community-driven cocktail bar by Oasis, Florida, created to sustain vital HIV and STI care across the Florida Panhandle. Inspired by the Wizard of Oz, rooted in inclusion, and dripping with character, Dorothy's is a welcoming space with award-winning Oz-inspired cocktails, food by Steel Pony Diner, and an unmatched atmosphere. Join us 7 days a week in downtown Pensacola, located directly across from Maritime Park and the Blue Wahoos Stadium.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wahoos Weekly. I'm Blue Wahoos broadcaster Erik Bremer, and our special guest this week is Cam Cannarella. Cam, in his short time with the Blue Wahoos, has become a fan favorite and is right now one of the hottest prospects in all of minor league baseball. Cam, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, again, you haven't been in Pensacola long, but you jumped right in and you've quickly become an impact guy in the Blue Wahoos lineup and in the field. I know it's been fun to play well, but take me through the first few weeks of your time here in Pensacola because you've got a really hot start.
I mean, I got here, I want to say 3 weeks ago or maybe a month ago, but it's been cool because I was in Wisconsin, so not a lot to do there. But I moved in with Iva and Juan Matthew, so I mean, they're one of my closest friends, so it was good. But the stadium's nice too. I love the stadium and just having a good time here, you know. So just putting a good year up and trying to, you know, whatever happens. But you know, I'm just happy to be here.
You were playing well with the Beloit Skycarp. That's what got you promoted here to Pensacola. But it seems like you've turned it up a notch since you got to the Blue Wahoos, hitting for power, opposite field power, stealing bases more than you have recently. When you wake up in the morning, how exciting is it to get to the ballpark and continue doing what you've been doing?
It's exciting for sure. My mom calls me every day and says good luck. So I think that puts something in my heart because she's my biggest supporter. But I would say just got to keep going and keep competing every day. And like I said, I'm just happy to be on the Blue Wahoos.
You mentioned your mom, you talk about your support system. Let's go back to the beginning. You grew up in South Carolina. When did baseball first get on your radar?
I played a lot of sports growing up, but I would say probably, I mean, I started when I was 4 or 5 years old. My grandpa played at Presbyterian, so he was a big help. And I started loving baseball probably when I was like 7 or 8 years old. That's when I knew I wanted to try to play in the MLB one day. So that was it.
You're a pretty good athlete. You can play center field here in the professional game, but I would guess growing up you played all over the place. So who did you model your game after as you were beginning to develop your skills?
I used to play shortstop and second base, so Robinson Cano, he was one of my big favorite players. And then like now it's probably Jackson Merrill, Michael Harris. So
and
like
Michael Harris, former Southern Leaguer, came through with the Mississippi Braves and playing now for the Atlanta Braves. Were the Braves kind of your MLB team growing up in South Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, I went to a lot of Braves games growing up. We played a lot travel ball in Atlanta, so it was cool going to the games, being in Atlanta. And then I was a big South Carolina Gamecocks fan, not Clemson, but I picked Clemson Tigers instead.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question. Grew up a Gamecock fan, but you end up committing to Clemson, and you had some pretty memorable experiences at Clemson. Take me through that recruitment process.
Started getting recruited in 9th grade. High school, played basketball and baseball, but after COVID, I stopped playing basketball just to focus on baseball. COVID hit, couldn't talk to no teams or anything, but you know, I wanted to go to South Carolina. Started getting offers after COVID, and had every school in South Carolina offer me. Never really talked to South Carolina really. Then Clemson called me, went on a visit, had a good time, and they offered me, so I was like, why not? I talked to my family and my friends, and they was like, you might as well, if you want to go where you want to go. I was like, yeah, that's where I want to be. It's the fans, I mean, everything there was perfect, and 10 minutes later after I committed, South Carolina called me and was trying to offer me, but just stayed at Clemson. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can call it a chip on your shoulder, extra motivation, or whatever, but like pretty clearly, if South Carolina had pursued you more aggressively, that would have been the choice.
Mm-hmm.
As you ended up at Clemson, how did that motivation continue to push you?
Yeah, I mean, every year we play South Carolina, I always play with fire and compete against them because, I mean, that was the team I wanted to go to. But, Clemson was a very great school. The coaching staff, they helped me a lot, and I'm just happy to be where I was at Clemson. So.
You were on some pretty good teams at Clemson as well. What would you say is your most memorable experience as you look back in your time at Clemson?
I mean, I would say my sophomore year. That was one of our best teams, and then I got hurt with my labrum, but we made it to a super regional against Florida. We lost in the super regionals against them, but that was probably the best team I played on.
Tore your labrum, you tried to play through it to some degree. You were a diminished version of your best self. I think everyone can recognize that, but you still put up pretty good numbers. As you got back to full health, how affirming was it that you still had that within you to play the best version of your game?
Yeah, no, when I got hurt, I didn't know if I was going to finish the season or not, so I just talked to my family and my coaches, and my coach really wanted me to keep playing, but I didn't know what to do. I kind of was down on myself a little bit, but talked to my family. It was like, whatever the coach thinks, do. And I did it, and I had a pretty good year that year, so I'm kind of glad I stuck it out or whatever. But like I said, I couldn't throw really. It was kind of hard, but I mean, like I said, it was a really great year. Made it all the way to super regionals, so just happy that I got to be a part of that.
If you couldn't throw, you had to find other ways to contribute. How did that maybe grow your skill set because you were kind of playing with a hand tied behind your back, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, the first couple of months was really hard. Like I said, I couldn't throw, but I would just have teammates come over, right footer or left footer. When I had a fly ball, just hand it to them or whatever. But I feel like that made me a stronger player today. I mean, just going through an injury like that, and just, like I said, keep competing every day, and you never know when it's your last time playing baseball. So
you figured probably that it was not going to be your last time playing baseball when you were at Clemson because you already had some draft buzz around you. How important was it to you to get back to some version of your best self before the MLB talent evaluators decided, hey, we want him in our organization?
Yeah, I had surgery going in my junior year, so I mean, that's my draft year. And I came back a little early, should have kind of waited, but I wanted to play, And like my arm wasn't fully back to 100%, but I could hit whatever. And I feel like that's what kind of hold me back a little bit with throwing. I mean, my bat, I had to just get like back to my normal stuff because I had surgery. I haven't seen a lot of pitching in 8 or 9 months, but I feel like after the midway point to the end, I had a really great year.
Tell me about the draft day experience. The Miami Marlins call you. They say they want you. Was it about when you were expecting? Was it who you were expecting? What were your expectations going into that day, and how did it live up to your expectations?
Went to the draft combine. I don't think I talked to the Marlins. I talked to every other team. And then draft day came. I was supposed to go before that, but kind of got left without money or whatever. But I did not know I was coming here. I just got picked, and then I mean, draft day was really good. I had my friends and family there, but I didn't know I was coming here. So.
One of the things the Marlins are trying to innovate in a lot of different ways. One of the things that they're doing is now, after their draft class is signed, they put everyone in one room down in the complex, and they have not necessarily team building exercises, but they make sure that everyone understands the culture in the same way. You mentioned that you were roommates with Iva Arquette when he was here, and you're now roommates with Brandon Compton. You got the 3 top draft picks from last year's class all here in Pensacola. How did that early time growing together as a unit help you now as you move forward and hopefully are eventually big leaguer teammates as well?
I first met them when I first got drafted. Didn't know anything about them. I watched them in college, but got to know them. Got to spring training. We went to eat a little bit, tried to play golf, but just never had time. But living with Iva, it was a really good experience. I mean, he taught me a lot. And we went to go play golf 2 weeks ago before he got hurt or whatever. And then Brandon Compton came up, got to meet him when I got drafted, and he's one of my closest guys now, him and Iva. But I feel like they done a lot for me, and I'm just happy for them to be here and him to get pulled up to Double A.
I'm trying to picture in my mind's eye what your golf swing looks like based on your baseball swing, because you've got a lot of opposite field power. Do you spray the ball? Do you fade, slice it, or what's your golf game looking like?
Hit it. I swing righty.
Oh, you swing righty?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that was that intentional to just make sure it doesn't impact your baseball swing?
I guess I'm not sure.
All right. Are you a decent golfer right-handed?
Pretty good.
That's pretty cool that, you play baseball left-handed, but you swing a golf club right-handed. Adjustments to pro ball are always challenging, and we've had pitchers on this show who talk about the adjustment, hitters as well. What was your first taste of pro ball like as you tried to, swing with a wood bat and do all those things that everyone kind of has their own growing pains with?
When I first got to Beloit, it was just how to play every day, because in college we played 3 or 4 times a week. Just getting to play every day, and then getting to focusing on the pitching, because the pitching's a lot different. But I feel like after a while you get used to it. And then now getting to Double A, I feel like the pitching's a lot better. They're around the zone more, so I feel like that kind of helps me what I do, like put the ball in play more. So.
You do put the ball in play a lot, and that was kind of in the scouting report that we were reading up on before you arrived. There was also some bullet point that said you don't hit for a lot of power. I don't believe that based on what I've seen from you here in Pensacola. How have you added power to your game here, especially since joining the Blue Wahoos?
I would say I wouldn't say I always have power, but I always had the potential to hit homers. But I was more of a line drive guy in college. I mean, I feel like just getting the ball in the air, because, I mean, you see on the road, it always flies out. And sometimes here it just depends. But I feel like just putting the ball in the air more, I mean, it always happens.
You've got good plate coverage. Most of your home runs, I would say, have gone out to left field rather than to the pull side and right. How has your swing evolved, maybe from the college game to the pro game, to also adjust for the different types of pitching that you face?
I wouldn't say my hitting adjusted. I mean, I hit a lot of homers to left field or center field, but I would say I mean, I'm trying to for sure pull the ball more. I mean, that's what they want me to do, but I feel like I hit a couple recently, the pull side, so I'm happy about that. But I'm just gonna let my bat do the thing and do whatever it has to do.
On the base running side, the Blue Wahoos have the most stolen bases in all of Double-A. The Marlins organization as a whole really seemed to make that a priority. You've always had the speed, but you haven't necessarily added those stolen bases to your game to the degree that you have here in Pensacola. So what fundamental changes have you made to your base running approach to try and get more steals like your teammates have?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, just getting back to in college, because I had like 28 or 29 bags, but getting surgery, it was kind of hard to steal. So I'm just kind of working back to that, like trying to get my stolen bases back, but just kind of hard when you had surgery and just don't want to mess it up anymore.
Well, the surgery, I would imagine, impacts you the most when you're playing in the field. And you're, again, a couple years removed from that, but I'm sure it's still mentally part of the way you attack things, and you do like to play 100%. So how have you come back from that injury defensively? We've seen you play really well in center field. We've also got a couple other guys on this team who can play a pretty good center field. So you've been asked to play around a little bit. But in terms of recovering from the surgery, how have you gotten back to your version of full strength defensively with your throwing arm?
I mean, rehabbing every day. I was at Clemson, and I rehab for 2 hours every day, besides on the weekends. And I feel like that helped me a lot. Then I got drafted, and I was in the rehab center every day. I mean, Connor got me good, and I fractured my wrist, so I had to rehab that, and I did my other arm. So I feel like that helped me a lot. Just all the trainers helping me. So.
You've got a pretty talented outfield group here. Dylan Lewis currently injured, but he can play a good center field. Brenton Jones can play a good center field. Marion Boyd can play a good center field. Fenwick Trimble can play a good center field. How fun has it been to play with those guys in the outfield where you're a very good defensive center fielder, but you don't stand out as much when you're surrounded by so many other talented guys?
I feel like it makes you a lot better when you have everybody surrounded like as good as you in the outfield. I feel like all of us can play any position, left field, right field, center field. But I'm just happy to be around them because they show me what they can do and I can show them what I can do. So I feel like that helps me a lot and makes me get better. So.
You play with flair. That's one of the reasons why the fans have come to like you here in Pensacola. You've got the eye black, sometimes unbutton the jersey, a button or two. That's also maybe made you the target of other teams as they grow frustrated with how successful you've been. Where did that flair come from?
I always wore eye black since I was elementary, high school, middle school. So I always like to have drip on. But I just, all my friends did it and I did it too. So I was like, might as well keep it in college, the pro ball. So I always wanted to do that.
And before we go, we're coming off of a road trip in Rocket City where the tensions boiled over a little bit, and you didn't do anything wrong. I want the record to state that, but you got hit, and your teammates defended your honor in what turned into, let's call it a benches clearing altercation. So how affirming was it that even though you've only been with the Blue Wahoos for a couple weeks, your teammates had your back in that situation?
I appreciate all of the teammates that had my back. I mean, I didn't want any of that to happen, but it happened. But I'm just happy my teammates had my back.
Before we go, let's talk goals for the rest of the season. If you continue doing what you've been doing here in Pensacola, you won't be here long. You know that, everyone knows that. But what realistic goals do you hope to achieve by the end of 2026?
Have 20 homers, 20 bags for sure. Maybe, what is it, minor league player of the year?
Yeah, that's, I think, within your range.
And then, and making the playoffs if I'm still here.
Yeah, and then maybe making it to AAA Jacksonville or beyond.
AAA, yeah.
Sounds good. Cam, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here on Wahoos Weekly.